Hi everyone, this is a proof against atheism. For this video, I'm going to define atheism as not believing in anything supernatural.
That's already wrong. I see there's a little thing at the bottom here. You guys can't see all of it because it's getting cut off a little bit. Let me try to fix that. If you disagree with this definition, just replace the term atheist throughout this video with not believing in the supernatural. Then you can be an atheist who believes in the supernatural. The problem with that is that you're already not delivering on the promise at that point. Like that would basically be the same thing as proof of God, because even proof that there could be a God wouldn't be enough. You could still be an atheist. I mean, you've changed the definition of atheism so radically that it no longer has any meaning. But I guess we'll have to proceed because this is what I've pulled. But I already just completely object on a foundational level to this video.
To be specific, I'm going to prove that the average atheist has unknowingly two contradicting beliefs.
All right.
Belief one is something that everyone can agree on, that you have a stream of consciousness, as in you will experience future events.
I mean, that's not always true. You could die right now, and then you would not experience any future events. But yes, I guess for the most part,
pretty non-controversial.
That's agreeable.
Belief two is atheism, or some people call it materialism. The belief that nothing supernatural exists, only the physical world. I
mean, I don't even know how you're defining supernatural. Because here's the thing. You could think, hey, something like ghosts are supernatural. But if we were to ever prove that ghosts do exist and study them and quantify them and figure out what phenomena causes ghosts to be, then it would no longer be supernatural. It would just be part of the natural world. It always would have been part of the natural world, but our understanding of the natural world would have increased to the point where we now understand ghosts are real. Here's what they are. Here's why they happen. And then it would become incorporated into our view of the natural world. So ghosts are not necessarily supernatural. They're supernatural from our perspective because we don't know if they actually exist. We don't know how they could be explained if they do exist. Hey, if you like this clip, you might like the full stream, which I do every Sunday, more or less, over on the Pessimist Productions Patreon, link down below. Thank you kindly.
And as long as we still agree with belief one, we have effectively proven that atheism is wrong and the supernatural exists.
How?
First, I will give two implications of atheism/materialism to help us understand it.
Okay.
Next, I will ask two questions to help establish that you do indeed believe you have a stream of consciousness, and that you do believe you will experience a future body. Lastly, I will ask question three, which is the proof that will prove that these two beliefs contradict each other, that a stream of consciousness denies atheism.
All right, well, I guess we gotta... He's building an argument. He's building a case, so we're not going to be able to just tear it apart bit by bit. We're going to have to go on this journey with him. So I hope you guys are ready. I hope you've packed a lunch. Let's do it.
At the end of question three, you'll be forced to admit that atheism is wrong.
Okay.
So what are these two aspects/implications of atheism/materialism?
All right. We're about to hear the implications of atheism, not really atheism/materialism.
To help explain things, imagine these blocks are molecules or particles in the universe.
Okay.
The first aspect is that it does not matter if I swap the position of two molecules in the world, given that they have identical properties.
Sure.
Assuming that they have identical properties, swapping these two molecules should have no effect on the universe.
Sure.
Let me say this again. If the before and after picture are physically the exact same, and we only believe in the physical world existing, then by definition, swapping these molecules had no impact on the world.
Okay, fair.
Aspect two.
I mean, I could probably split hairs over it, but I'm not going to. I essentially agree.
Temporarily deconstructing anything into its molecular components, then reassembling it back together, does not directly have any long-term impacts on the object/being. If the object is physically the exact same with or without deconstruction/reconstruction, then there is no impact.
Okay.
So now that we have established atheism/materialism,
I mean, I think that here we kind of have the Star Trek transporter argument. Did the transporter transport you, or did it kill you and then rebuild an identical copy somewhere else? And, you know, like, there have been instances in Star Trek where transporter signals have bounced off of atmospheric conditions and, you know, accidentally created clones of the person. So if that thing that emerges at the other end of the transporter is just ultimately no different than a replica, then really what's happened is you've died and then an identical you has appeared, but it's not really you. And I forget what the name of the thought experiment is, but it's like the ship of Odysseus or whatever the hell, or some Greek, where, you know, components are replaced over time to the point where there's no original pieces left. So is it really the same ship? And this is very relevant to us because the atoms that make up our body change over time. I think every 7 years or so, we're an entirely different configuration of atoms.
Realism. Let's establish that you have a stream of consciousness, and you will indeed experience a future body.
Sure.
Question 1. Here on Earth, if I reveal to you that as we speak, there coincidentally exists a person with your exact molecular structure on an alien planet, whose body are you currently experiencing?
Mine.
Who would you rather not get shot tomorrow? Whose bed will you
Me.
wake up in tomorrow?
Mine.
Think about it for a second.
I don't have to. It's not a hard
Correct.
question.
You will be looking out of your own earthly body tomorrow.
Sure.
Pretty easy.
Right.
Tomorrow when you wake up,
the ship of Theseus. Okay, there we go. Thank you. Thank you, chat. You're so smart.
you're going to be looking at your own bed. What goes on in alien planets does not affect you.
Sure.
You would probably prefer that this random clone dies over yourself. Today, here on Earth, if I told you that tomorrow...
Man, he better be building to something fucking spectacular with this one. That's all I got to say. The journey so far has been kind of like, you know, the initial run through Jurassic Park, where it's like, and over here you'll see the Dilophosaur. Oh, wow. Wait, where is it? And there's the T-Rex. Where is he? Right? So far, not a fun journey, but it's all going to be worth it. When at long last, I must change my name from the Amazing Atheist to the Amazing Theist once the final proof bomb drops.
On some alien planet, a scientist will coincidentally build another person with your exact molecular structure.
Okay.
Who would you rather not get shot tomorrow? Whose bed will you wake up in next week?
This is the exact same question. This is exactly this. What is even the difference between the first question and the second? The only difference is in the second one, some professor made it, right?
And remember, we're asking current you. This is before the clone is made. So there's only one person to ask. Okay. Earth you.
So I'm being asked this before the clone is made. So before the mad scientist on the other planet makes a clone, I am asked, would I rather I be shot or this future clone of me that's going to exist on another planet be shot? Before it happens. That's important for some reason. Okay.
The answer should be, you wake up in your own Earth bed.
Right.
You prefer that this random clone gets shot over yourself in the future.
Okay.
What goes on in alien planets does not affect you.
Sure.
If this isn't your answer, allow me to expand on question 2.
Oh my God, please don't. Please don't expand on question 2. All right.
If I told you that tomorrow you will get to eat the best food ever, and you're going to get $1 billion.
Okay.
Take a second to picture yourself eating.
I wouldn't believe you, but it sounds nice.
Eating your favorite food tomorrow, you know, just...
Don't say it's nonsense, because we don't even know where it's going yet. It's all going to come together.
Imagine savoring that taste.
I hope.
You would be pretty excited. Now, would you be equally excited?
You know, when I watch a video like this, I got to say, my main thing when I'm watching a video like this, and I'll go full camera for this for a second. When I'm watching a video that's like, we are going to prove atheism wrong, we're going to prove that there is a God, they're going to prove that there's a supernatural realm, we're going to prove all these crazy things. You know, I know you guys probably think I go into that just like, fuck off. But I don't. Every single time I approach it with an open mind, I'm hoping that they're going to succeed. I'm hoping that they're right. I'm hoping they're going to convince me, hey, there's something beyond this material world. There is a big old fucking man in the sky going, ho, 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 yes, I am your master. I'm not hoping that's true, but god damn it, it'd be fucking fast. It'd be a mind-blowing fucking moment in my life when I realize, holy shit, they're right. Holy shit, they figured it out. I'm not adverse to that moment happening. That would be a spectacular moment. But every freaking time, it just feels like sophistry, weird, juggle all these ideological balls in the... It's like, I can tell what's going on right now in this video is like a bunch of razzle-dazzle. Let's overcomplicate things to the point where a dumb person watching will just be like, hey, yeah. That's the only objective here. Prove me wrong, video. Prove me wrong.
Excited if I instead told you that someone on an alien planet far, far away with your exact molecular structure was going to be built tomorrow and get these luxuries instead? No, you're not going to be as excited because you're not going to be the one experiencing it.
Yep.
Unless you on Earth equally anticipate getting to eat that food in both scenarios, you admit that your consciousness is in a specific body. You acknowledge that there...
Hey, guy. How many times are you going to make the same point to me about how I would not be... Yes, I don't care about my alien clone. I don't care that there is another person with the exact same genetic configuration of me on another planet, across the cosmos, somewhere. I don't care. That's his problem. You know what I mean? I don't care if he gets shot. I don't care if he gets 1 billion Gromulex, which is what they use for currency on that planet. I don't care if he gets to eat the finest foods, bed the fucking hottest people. I don't care. Because it's not me. I get it. I get that point. I got it the first fucking time. I don't understand the need to keep belaboring this.
Establish that you do indeed have a stream of consciousness and will experience a future body. And we've also laid out the two aspects of atheism/materialism.
I mean, you laid out a completely flawed definition of atheism that has nothing to do with the actual definition. And that's what you've done.
Now we can do question 3. This is the important one. This one.
All right. Yeah. Let's see.
Will prove atheism can't be true. It
All
will
right.
prove that these
Ready.
two past ideas contradict.
Hell yes. Let's do this.
Question 3. Okay, imagine we were to do an experiment tomorrow. This will be you.
Okay.
One by one, I replace all of your molecules with new ones of the same properties. And then I put all of your old molecules back together.
It's just the ship of Theseus thing. That's all it is. It's fuck ship of Theseus thing that we already fucking talked about earlier. This already happens naturally, dude. Every 7 years, every atom in your body is different. I'm shedding atoms and taking in new atoms right now. You know, this is like the whole, you can never step into the same river twice because it's always different. It's always changing, just like people. How disappointing. How fucking pointing.
Together, creating a second body.
Okay.
Which body would you prefer I not shoot? Which one are you looking out of? Whose bed do you wake up in tomorrow? You were able to...
I mean, who's me at that? The question is, who's me at that point? This is the second part of the ship of Theseus thing is all of those other parts from the ship, the old ship of Theseus, as they're replaced, are built into a new ship. So which one is really the ship of Theseus? And it's a real noodle baker, and there's lots of different ways you can interpret the problem. But this doesn't prove anything. Because from my quote-unquote perspective, both will be me. It's the Thomas Riker thing that I referenced from Star Trek earlier. Both of those individuals have a sense of continuity. Asking me which one's me, here's the reality. Neither fucking one. Both are going to have a sense of continuity from me to them, but neither one is actually me. They're both now totally different entities. But you know what? Here's the rub in that. I'm a different entity now than I was when I started this video. Because now my experience contains watching this video, saying the things I've said. I'm a different person now than when I just said that shit a second ago. Because now I've said this shit. It's changed. This sense of continuity is all well and good. But if you cloned me 1 trillion times, every single one of those clones is going to have a sense of continuity from my birth to where they are now. So the sense of continuity is not really what matters here.
To choose a body in previous questions, choose one here. And remember, the experiment hasn't happened yet. So
I don't care. Shoot them both.
There's only one person to ask at the moment. Now here's the great thing. Any answer to this question accepts that you disagree with atheism and you acknowledge the supernatural exists.
I'm ready.
There are 0 logically coherent answers that will allow you to believe materialism and believe you have a stream of consciousness.
Okay.
If you say you're looking at the new matter body, then you disagree with aspect number 2 of materialism.
Sure.
This is because you believe that your consciousness is no longer in your old matter.
That wasn't my answer. So
if we redo the scenario, but the new matter didn't exist, and your body was instead swapped out with air, then you simply believe the act of deconstructing and reconstructing the old matter caused you to permanently die. I
don't believe I permanently died. I believe that one version of me died and a new version emerged somewhere else. It has my same sense of continuity, has my same self, identity, etc. But is it truly me? I don't know. I don't think it is. I think that it is a seamless facsimile.
If you say that you're looking at the old matter body, then you disagree with aspect number 1
also not
of
my
materialism.
answer.
This is because you believe that your consciousness is not in the new matter. If we redo the scenario, but we never reconstruct the old matter, then you believe simply the act of swapping out your molecules with identical ones caused you to permanently die. You disagree with materialism. You believe the supernatural exists. I call this the molecular doppelganger dilemma. Regardless of your answer, you disagree with atheism.
Wait, what about my answer, though? That neither one's me.
Because all of the answers disagree with atheism. This is not a matter of, I don't know. It's a matter...
He's not going to address my answer, is he? He didn't think about that one, did he?
There is no possible outcomes that agree with atheism. This is because...
I don't even... Here's the thing. I don't even understand what the fuck this has to do with atheism or materialism. What is the point here? Like, it's an interesting thought experiment. It's basically just a ship of Theseus, but it's you. So you're a little bit more invested in it, maybe. But beyond that, I don't really understand what this has to do with the price of rice in China, my man. What is this?
Atheism and consciousness never went together well in the first place. You must accept that the supernatural exists. Atheism is wrong. Religion hasn't answered question 3. My belief is that your consciousness is in your soul.
Okay.
And that your consciousness is in...
that's just false. Your consciousness... We don't completely understand the nature of consciousness, so I'm not going to definitively tell you what consciousness is. But it does very much seem to be a matter of, like, your brain, your body, your nervous system, all those things comprise consciousness. So I'm curious how he's going to solve this little thing now that he's laid out this idea that you got a soul. Which one's the soul going to go to? Does the soul split in two? Does a new soul form? Let's see.
In the new matter, because that's where your soul is. Regardless of how likely you think my answer is, at least it is logically coherent. There is no logically coherent answer under atheism. Impossible?
God damn it. He always brings up these tantalizing possibilities and ignores them. Like, how many things have I brought up just in the process of sitting here watching this that is not addressed in this video? You would think, like, he clearly sat down and wrote this and animated it. He didn't think of that. He didn't think of the question of like, okay, so what if you build that other person? Where does the soul go? What does that other person not have a soul? And by that logic, do they not have a consciousness, or are they just like brain dead mush zombies that just can't do anything because they have no soul to animate them? Or do they form a new soul on the spot? Does the soul split? That question's not, I mean, okay.
When you accept that there must be more than the physical world, suddenly religion should look a lot more.
I don't even understand the connection between what you're talking about and like an ethereal realm or a non-physical world. I guess the connection is the soul, but you never demonstrated the soul existed anywhere in that. You never fucking came up with anything that was like, and here's why we know we have a soul. And by the way, if your goal here is to prove that people have souls, the title of your video should be Proof of the Soul. But you didn't have that either. What you should have called this video is Tedious Rebrand of the Ship of Theseus, but with people.